What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another About Teams video. And in today's episode, you know what it is. We got him right here, NBA recap. And boy, my Minnesota Timberwolves are able to hang on, live another day. Big win last night, 105-100. And Nick, you see what happens when Cat performs? This is what we get, wins. And it's been a very weird series, to say the least. All games have been really close. But in the games the Timberwolves lost, Anthony Edwards really didn't show up. Cat was one of the worst efficiency players. I believe he was only 1 out of 16 players to have below 30% from the field and below 15% from three. So, I mean, take it as you leave it. But, huge win. As a fan, I was just happy to see us get one. And one of the biggest reasons we were able to win tonight, obviously, Anthony Edwards continuing to be aggressive, not settling for jump shots, was doing it all, getting, 10 assists, dishing out 9 rebounds, 29 points, obviously, and a huge jumper with 38 seconds left to pretty much put the game in Minnesota's control. And then Carl, 5 points first half, struggling with foul trouble. Fourth quarter, but mainly the whole second half, just clutched up when it mattered. And as bad as he was the first 3 games, he saves us today or last night. And credit to him. And one of the biggest credits, I called for it after game 1. Maybe I should be a head coach. The move to put Anthony Edwards on Luka Doncic and to put Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie really bothered Kyrie because Luka Doncic doesn't get bothered by length. You can't really, obviously, you can't stop him, but you can slow Luka down. And what Luka gets bothered by is more size and physicality. And Anthony Edwards is being physical with him all night. That's why he got into 5 fouls. But, that's how you got to play him. And Luka had 28, but you'll take that because, it was not great efficiency. And then Kyrie really struggled in this game. Huge credit to Jaden McDaniels with his length and speed able to keep up. I called for that after game 1, but, I guess, better late than never, but this has been a great series, and it shows really testament to how when even the all-stars, superstars on both teams don't perform, the games are so close because you saw for the Mavericks, Jaden Hardy step up, make 3 out of 4 3-pointers. PJ Washington, even though struggled most of the game, hit some clutch threes down the stretch. Josh Green getting involved, Dante Exum hitting threes, and Luka still putting up 28 despite, not great efficiency. It's been a battle. Just, happy to send this back to Minnesota because just for basketball fans, we get at least 2 more days of conference finals game after the Celtics sweep the Pacers. And, as a Timberwolves fan, feels good not to get swept, feels good to get one. And you know what? This momentum may just ride us into Thursday, could ride us into what would the next game be? Saturday? Just kind of enjoy the moment. Don't worry about being down 3-1. You're heading back home. You're going to Dallas, and just I'm proud they didn't go out sad or lose by 50 or 30. Which you've seen some teams too. But yeah, let me get your thoughts on this, and then I have a question for you at the end before.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't unfortunately able to catch the game just because we had our high school baseball game last night, but
yep.
It's huge for Minnesota to finally be on the other side of closing out the game. We've hammered it away. You've really hammered it away how these games have just been closed out by, as you call them, the 2 best closers in the league, and Kyrie and Luka. And so for now to Minnesota finally to see, we can do it too. That could be a huge boost for them going back home. If they can take this next game at home, it'll probably.
But it's all hands on deck from there.
Yeah,
so.
it'll be another close game probably, and if they can close it out at home, then we're really looking at an interesting series because they definitely have the capability to come back. It's not they just got nobody and they're just worn down.
This isn't your typical 3-1 series where it's or at the time 3-0 where it was just one team was convincingly better than the other. It was just the Mavericks were always better in the clutch, and they still are. This was just one game where, Ant proved his status, and Carl was just efficient down the stretch, even though he fouled out eventually. You know, being able to provide that spark. But like I said before, it speaks to the great defense of both teams, and great offense from the other players to just keep within striking distance, even when Cat hasn't performed, when Ant hasn't performed, and last night when Kyrie didn't perform and Luka struggled efficiency wise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, like I said, for a Timberwolves fan, obviously uncharted territory. Great to just go back home, and great to see what I thought Carl could do and what I thought he was going to do most of the series. Obviously, probably, this efficient, but he is a very efficient shooter, almost a 50, 40, 90 guy. So that was great. But yeah, this has been a dogfight of a series. And, I think this really is truly it's just been a great, all 4 games have been highly entertaining. But let me ask you, I think you've caught enough of like this series, even if you missed last night. What team do you want the Celtics to face? Like, if say it goes, Minnesota wins game 5, they win game 6, game 7, anything can happen. It's 3-3. Like, who do you want to win, or like who do you least want to face? Like, as a Celtics fan, because I'm curious other perspectives. Because heading into the series, it was probably like a lot of people thought Minnesota was going to win. Then obviously now it's pretty much Dallas is going to close this out, and they still pretty much have like a 90% chance to do. I just want to get your thoughts.
It's tough to say. I hate ever saying, I'd rather play this team, because then if you do play them and they beat you, you look stupid. I think we kind of did that against the Warriors, I feel like, where we were like, oh, we match up so well against them, and then they smoked us. But
but even then, I think if I was a Celtics fan then, I wanted to face the Mavericks because, yes, you had Luka, but you didn't have Kyrie. Who was their second best player? Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, so obviously you don't want to say which one, but you're like, oh, right. We match up better, or
I think at this point, going into the series, I probably would have said Dallas, just because Minnesota's defense scared me. Seeing what they did to the Nuggets, I was like, oh shit! If they can shut down the Nuggets in the playoffs at home, they can shut down anybody. But on the other side of it, I keep saying Kyrie coming back to Boston scares me a lot, because just the whole history behind it and everything. I feel like he would have that extra motivational factor. So
you remember stuff like that.
Right now, I would say the best case scenario for the Celtics is somehow this series is pushed to 7. Minnesota just goes on a run, and then maybe Dallas wins in 7. So they're just tired out from all their long, grueling series. Or because, Minnesota had to go 7 with the Nuggets too. So if they went back-to-back 7, that's probably the best case scenario, is this series goes as long as possible. Because last night, if Dallas won and closed it out, it would have been really tough to beat them off, 10 days rest or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
But now, this series is extended a little bit. Hopefully the Wolves can win game 5 at home to extend it even more. And then if they can steal it back in Dallas, then, like you just said, all hands on deck. You don't know who's winning game 7. So I think that's the best case scenario, is it goes 7. Because if Dallas wins, I would be worried if Dallas wins after 5. I'd be like, oh shit, okay, they're ready.
Yeah, to go. And I think the thing is, the key difference in the series is, for me, Dallas just has another go-to scorer, and hopefully, I hope the Timberwolves do something. I know season's still going; you're in a deep playoff run right now, but just get that secondary score, because obviously you have Ant, and Ant will just continue to get better going into his 23. But Carl can sometimes be that guy, but we've seen 3 out of the 4 games where he just can't be. And I would trust, Carl much more as a third option, or, just get a second ball handler that could just get his own shot. Because Mike Conley at his age, is just a good spot up shooter. But we'll see. Yeah, just, great series. And hopefully for the Mavericks, Derek Lively comes back soon, because his impact was obviously clearly missed in this game. Just being able to, because as soon as he's gone out, he got injured midway through the game. I believe it was game 3, injured midway through. And then you just saw that's the one the Timberwolves finally made their run with Anthony Edwards. And they've just been being a lot more aggressive. But even with him back, I still want them to be aggressive. If the shot gets blocked, it gets blocked. I just don't want to see any of these step back threes like when we were tripling the Mavericks 3-point attempts in game 1 and maybe game 2. It was frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
Just be aggressive.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, though, this is the only game, and this will be the only series. So we'll have, I believe, a preview for Thursday, the next game.
Yeah.
But, we have nothing to talk about because obviously the Celtics are
shorter episode
right now. Maybe getting a couple quick workouts in. I'm just waiting on this series to finish up. But, it should be interesting. Game 5 back in Minnesota. A lot of people, going to be excited, obviously. Playoff basketball, I mean, even it's a shame, really, the Pacers couldn't win one because it was like that series, like all 4 games felt entertaining, but then
they were like
and the
game
Celtics
2
just
game
closed
2
them out.
One.
Mm-hmm. I'm still frustrated by Indiana's game 1. I mean, we talked about it after when you blew that a chance, and then they blew game 3, and then they blew game 5.
I saw a stat on Instagram. I think like ESPN posted it that 3 of the 4 games Indiana was at one point in the game had like a 95% win probability.
Yeah, and I think at least 2 of those were in the fourth quarter. Like
I think they all were.
Yeah, they all were. Indiana had like an 18-point lead in game 3.
They led
game
by
4,
like
they were up 9 with like 4 minutes to go.
Right, because they took away Jaylen Brown's 3-pointer, didn't they?
Yep, and then game 1, all they need to do is inbound the ball and make at least 1 free throw, and that was it.
How do you feel about that rule? How do you feel about that rule? Like, do you think that they should be able to go back 4 minutes and take off a 3-pointer?
It's in the rule. I mean, I have a lot of questions about the rules. To bring this back, obviously, to the Minnesota Mavericks and Timberwolves series. I don't know if you remember this, Nick. It was game 2, and McDaniels clearly gets fouled with like 40 seconds left. They're in the bonus, but Kyrie swats his hand, and it rolls off McDaniels. But you can't review the challenge, or you can't challenge it because it went out of bounds. And like, otherwise, we would have been shooting free throws to go up by 4. Instead, it's Mavericks ball. We're up 2, and then Luka, I believe, the possession after hits a 3. But still, McDaniels, if he makes at least 1 or 2, Timberwolves probably win that. So there are a lot of problems with the rules, like you said. Like that rule, you can review it until the next TV timeout. I mean, I guess a rule's a rule. I mean, if I'm a Timberwolves fan, I'm pissed. I'm like, damn, like really. But like if I'm on the other side, if I'm a Pacers fan, I'm like, sweet, all right, like now we have 9 instead of 6. So, right. It is what it is. I feel like some of the rules, especially like maybe like that one, or like, being able to see like they were reviewing, was it out on Kyrie or McDaniels? And you can clearly see Kyrie smack McDaniels' hand to force it out. And it's like, come on, like, let's call a foul here. Like, let's not be like, it's not on the rules, but like, let's be stupid. And then at that point, the series could be tied 2-2 and we have a whole different look at it. But you live and you learn. We'll see what kind of – we'll talk about that. That'll probably be a topic over the summer when they make new rule changes. Should be interesting to see what they do for that. But for my opinion, though, for that, I mean, probably. But, like, at the end of the day, he also didn't get it off. And if it's a rule, like, it's, whatever. But, like, it is annoying. Like, I wish they just had someone there, like, immediately instead of, like, waiting, like, 5 minutes to do it. Like, don't we have guys looking out for that?
That's what I don't like. Because you're right. It was the right call. Like, it wasn't out of his hand.
Yeah, but I'd be annoyed, too.
It's the fact that, like, so much already happened. Like, what if it was, like, a tie game with, like, say the shot happened with, like, 2 minutes, and then
then you're playing a different strategy. You're playing a different strategy.
And then you go all the way down to, like, 30 seconds left, and there's a TV timeout. They go back and say, oh, well, that 3 actually didn't count. You're actually down by 3. It's not a tie game.
No, I agree. No, I feel like there should definitely be people like monitoring that. And I'm surprised, given how close it was, that they didn't look at it. Like that was like very close. And it's like, might want to, place in case, we don't count it later on. Yeah, I agree. They should do something about it. But, obviously they have to take it away. But, it's unfortunate. Just more so hire someone to be looking out for that. But yeah, with that being said, though, that is our NBA recap of the Western Conference Finals, and we'll be out with a preview tomorrow of Game 5. But yeah, With that being said, thank you guys all for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.